Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cheap Seats Money in the Bank 2024 predictions. I'm your host, Ryu, as always, joined by the co-owner, co-chief, co-founder of the Cheap Seats, Orca Shield.
And one thing I'm not co-off is I'm not a co-champion. I am the reigning, defending, undisputed predictions champion.
The
Thanks
issue we have is that the pay-per-view that was passed is we had the same feeling about every match, but to make it interesting, I thought I'll take the loss this time. So it's fine, but I will not be doing
such
that.
a babyface promo at the start of a predictions thing. I'd let him win.
I let him
I did
win.
it for you.
I did it for The Rock. Speaking of people that do it for The Rock, the opening match of I think it's going to be the opening match is going to be the good old classic of Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens versus three members of the Bloodline. Now, we don't know which three it's going to be. We can probably guess, but there's a bit more to this, isn't there? There's a bit more. We think there's a bit more to this than we've been told about. I'm just going to say it. I predict the Bloodline to win for reasons that I will go into shortly. What do you think?
I don't know how it works because I know that I think it's Tangaloa. I think he's got something where he can't leave the country.
Right.
I don't know if that is the same with it being in Toronto because obviously I know it's a new country. I'm not saying that Canada's not their own, but
They're not even a real country anyway.
But I'm not sure how that works with like. I don't know if it means like abroad because it's still technically the Americas he's in is what I'm getting at.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know if that's.
He hasn't had to get on a plane to get there. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know how that works. So, but if he's allowed to get there, I'd say it's going to be Tangaloa, Tamatonga, and Solo.
Right.
And I think I don't have this match on first, so I'll quickly talk about why. I think that at the minute it's 4-on-3.
Yeah.
Jimmy Uso is nowhere to be seen. Roman Reigns is nowhere to be seen. So the only other available Uso who's dealt with this bloodline is Jay.
Yeah.
So I think that. See, I'm torn because there's two reasons why now. I think that either the men's Money in the Bank opens the show because when we get to it, I'll discuss that in further detail.
Right.
Or it'll be this match. And if it's this match that opens the show, I think Jacob Fatu is going to wipe out Jey Uso backstage.
Okay.
I think because we need to stop building toward. I think this is going to build. I think at the end of the day, Bloodline win this match.
Yep.
I think Solo pins Kevin Owens. Sorry, Kevin. I think you're the one taking the fall here. But I think we're going to set up Solo versus Cody for SummerSlam. That's going to be your main event at SummerSlam.
Okay.
So I think Jay's going to try and say, like, you know, the numbers game are against you. I've been in the bloodline.
Yep.
They're going to have shenanigans. Someone's going to come out. It's going to be more like 4-on-3 than 3-on-3. And then because Solo's heard that, Jacob Fatu's just going to absolutely destroy Jey Uso.
Yep.
Backstage. He'll then come to the ring. We'll still get the shenanigans outside the ring. And they'll distract Cody and Randy, and Kevin Owens will take the fall, I think, in the middle of the ring. I think that's how it's going to go. So that's my pick. I'm going to go with the Bloodline here. And also, we need the Bloodline to gain momentum now for the inevitable return of Roman to avenge Paul Heyman.
I think Roman returns here. There's been a lot of. I think in Money in the Bank, Roman will return in some capacity. Don't exactly know how. Don't exactly know when. In the show, I think, but there's going to be something. I don't. I mean, okay, that I'm not. This is not part of my prediction of the winner. The winner of the match is going to be the Bloodline. Full stop. But I think Roman returning here and reclaiming his wise man will be impactful. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that.
The only thing I would go against that is I think that it would sell more if Heyman was written off for a few weeks and maybe bring Roman back at SummerSlam rather than Money in the Bank.
Well, let's see. Every time another superstar has turned on Paul Heyman, given him a hard time, whatever, one of his one of many of his people have been there, mostly Brock Lesnar, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be Brock. It's not going to be Brock this time. Right, next match that I have written down, which is probably different to yours, is Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker for the Intercontinental Championship. I absolutely see Bron Breakker walking away with the title here. I didn't like Sami Zayn beating Gunther. You know, anyone who listens to the podcast or any of the predictions knows how little I care for Sami Zayn as a character right now. His best work was when he was in the Bloodline, and then just coming out of it. When they came out of it after that, he kind of did the tag team thing with Kevin Owens, and then just floundered, just nothing. Then they gave him the IC belt as an interim champion. Fine. I mean, I say fine. It should have been Gable, but you know, there's other things happening there. So yeah, my money here is on Bron Breakker. Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, before I get into saying what I think, can I just say that honestly, for the most part of what's going on in the video that we play in the background here as well,
Yep.
I genuinely thought the cobwebs were barbed wire for a second, and I was like,
I did think that too.
Just gonna get stabbed.
No.
I mean,
literally.
It's a good idea, but I thought it was barbed wire.
While I was talking, I glanced over and I'm like, oh, they got barbed wire. No, it's cobwebs because it's Halloween Havoc. Okay, all right.
But yeah, back to the thing. I think, yeah, I'm with you. I think Bron Breakker's taken the belt here.
Yeah.
I think he's going to start another massive reign of dominance with that IC belt.
Yeah.
Which is what's needed. I don't necessarily think that he should beat Gunther in his record reign. I don't want them to like have a nice record like set and then break it straight away.
Yeah.
So I do think that the next lot of belts, especially since Gunther and Roman were going alongside each other and lasting what seemed like decades.
Yeah.
But I don't think it should be that long. But I think he should hold it for at least a year, like just destroying any competitors that come. Like not even close matches. I'd say. I think this one will be a bit close. I don't think it's going to be a squash match. I think that Sami will do some of his like high flying sort of stuff, like we seen on last week that Bron went for a spear and Sami like leapfrogged him and set him into the stairs. So I think that Sami might try stuff like that, but eventually he'll be caught, and then when he does get caught, it'll be just spear, Steiner bomb and all sorts, and then just cover 1, 2, 3. New Intercontinental Champion Bron Breakker.
Yeah, agree. I don't see why continuing with the Sami Zayn as IC champ. I don't see why they would continue that, but I will come to why I think they might later. But I think no. I think they're completely sort of separating all of this now. I would say, like you and I have both said in the past, that the upcoming Bloodline versus Bloodline Civil War sort of thing. It could be that they're going to try and free up Sami Zayn to be involved in that somehow. That would be quite cool, considering that he was part of the original Bloodline. Anyway, but let's move on from that. So then on my sheet, I've got the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Let's just go over the entrance first. So we have who do we have? We have Io Sky, we have Zoe Stark, we have Tiffany Stratton, we have Naomi, we have Chelsea Green. Is there anyone else I'm forgetting?
Zoe Stark.
I said those. Okay, so Lyra Valkyria. Okay. I think Tiffany Stratton takes the case here. I think it's her time. I know we were both saying last week that we would love for Chelsea Green to, by some miracle, walk out of there with the briefcase. While I think there's every chance that she could, I genuinely believe that this is the moment that Tiffany Stratton becomes a threat to both of the women's champions, because she can choose which one to cash in on. I think having Tiffany Stratton's character and her charisma with the briefcase, with all the shithousery that she could do, I think it'd be excellent. So I'm going with Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Money in the Bank winner.
Okay. What's that? It's Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy time. I'm not, you know me, I'm not going against anyone. Anytime she's in a predictions video, Tiffany Stratton gets my pick, and there you go.
If she's
Not even
involved, if
she's involved.
if she's involved, obviously.
No, I will say that I'm worried that we're going to have the same picks for all of these. So I was, if we did them in a different order and we were running the same, I would actually go Chelsea Green for this. Only because I think, and we'll get, like I say, we'll get to it for my next two picks because they sort of flow into each other quite nicely.
Right.
But I feel like whoever wins this belt is going to be the one that the big long story is based on.
The briefcase, you mean?
The briefcase, sorry, yeah. And I think that this one is going to be the long story for the year because normally,
Okay.
and I know this, or is this the second? Technically, was H in charge when you went to it? Because it's been a year since you went to this event.
Yes, it
I want
is.
to feel old.
Well, I can
The year has already passed.
I can do this now because I'm not using a green screen. I can do this. I can do this. I have my money in the bank briefcase. If the camera won't focus on it.
It's being blurred in case other briefcases want to know its identity and do identity theft. We have pixelated its eyes.
It says, I was there, London, 2023. And this is thanks to my buddy Alexis. But, yeah.
So, is this the first time Triple H has properly booked it, or was he in charge last year?
He was in charge last year. He took over.
But Vince was still sort of knocking around a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So, and for years and years, they've always had one briefcase, that either has turned into belts in the case of Becky Lynch, or is cashed in very quickly, and then the other one is the one they build a story around, and I think this is the one they build a story around this year.
Okay.
And I think in terms of that, Chelsea Green would be the best option here because she is just comedy gold. She could complain about people ruining her cash-ins. She could do all sorts with that briefcase. She could put glitz and glam it up, whatever, do whatever she wants to make it custom one.
Diamante, yeah. That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But it's Tiffany Stratton, so I've got to go with my Tiffy. Tiffy time. Is going to get that.
Okay, cool. I think that's going to be a good match regardless, but we'll see. Moving on, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So we're just going to run through quickly people taking part. We got Carmelo Hayes. LA Knight is in it for the second year running. Andrade. Jey Uso, Chad Gable, and Drew McIntyre. Three of those are not like the other. I do not see LA Knight winning it this year. He was tipped absolutely white hot last year, and he should have won it, in my opinion. Damian Priest won it. It was wrong. People didn't want it, but we got it. Carmelo Hayes has just come up from NXT. He ain't going to get the briefcase just yet. It's just not going to happen. Of course, we know LA Knight is being booked for SummerSlam with Logan Paul, so he's not going to have the briefcase either. Andrade is just there to make the match work because he's a fantastic worker, but I'm sorry, Andrade. I don't think El Idolo is going to walk out with the briefcase. Jay, I think there's going to be something that just means that Jay is not going to get... He's not getting it. And CM Punk is absolutely going to cost Drew the briefcase as well. Chad Gable is walking out of here with the briefcase. That's my pick. It's going to be Chad Gable.
Okay. Yeah. That's good because it means we're definitely going to have an out-and-out winner. Because I am going to go with Big Daddy Drew winning. That's why I think that this match is going to be the one that kicks off the show.
Okay.
Because Drew McIntyre is going to win and cash in the next match that we're going to talk about.
Right.
And that is why it's going to be the shortest briefcase out of the two. But I think that we're going to get this match, like you said at the start, we're going to get a lot of shenanigans in this match. I feel like it almost feels like this match is playing second fiddle to grander stories, which I don't want to happen. I hope I'm wrong in this. But if I go through what I think, you've got Carmelo Hayes, who's got really nothing going on. Andrade, nothing going on. So them pair are here to have a decent match. Them pair have been put in because they're mid-carders who could easily be propelled into that main title scene with the help of a briefcase. So them I agree with. You then have LA Knight, who's feuding with Logan Paul. We think we're going to get Paul versus Knight at SummerSlam.
For the US
so I think
title.
that it's for the US title. So I think that at some point, Logan Paul is going to cost LA Knight in this match.
Yep. Agreed.
I think that Jey Uso is building up to be in Bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0.
Yep.
So I don't see him needing the briefcase for any of that. So that's why I think Jacob Fatu's going to wipe him out before this match or during this match.
Yep.
He'll get attacked by the new Bloodline.
Yeah.
Chad Gable, we're going to get that thing that we had last year where with LA Knight, where he was climbing up, the camera zoomed in, and then all of a sudden Priest came up to sucker punch him.
Yeah.
We're going to get Chad Gable climbing the ladder. Hard cam zooms in, and then you get that piano key of ding, ding, and the lights start going out.
Right.
And the Wyatt Six are going to cost Chad Gable the briefcase. Okay. And then Drew McIntyre is going to take this, and he's going to. But I think that when Drew McIntyre's on the ladder, it's going to be either the first time he goes up the ladder, or if it's the only time he goes up, he's going to stop at the top and be like looking around nervous, like Punk's going to come out, but he doesn't. And he's going to reach up and grab the briefcase.
I've just had a fucking absolute amazing fucking brainwave. Carry on, please. Sorry,
so I think that he's going to unhook the briefcase, become your Mr. Money in the Bank. He's going to try and cash in the main event. Okay. And CM Punk is going to cost him cashing in.
Okay.
To set up the SummerSlam match.
Right. Okay, let's get to the last match. Let's give our predictions, and then I will tell you why I do not think Drew McIntyre is going to win, or if he does, why he's going to be so screwed. Okay, right. So let's just keep that in mind. Okay, so you're going with Drew McIntyre. I'm going to go with Chad Gable. Okay, the last match on the card, and it's been very, very quickly booked. And it's been booked with a very strange, almost here's your winner before the match has even kicked off stipulation. Damian Priest, who is the current champion, versus Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship, which we know is the staple of Raw. I am going to go with Damian Priest here because I believe that Damian Priest winning and the stipulation... Sorry, I should also tell you what the stipulation is. The stipulation is that if Damian Priest wins, Seth Rollins can no longer challenge for this title. If Seth Rollins wins, Damian Priest has to leave the Judgment Day. I almost said Bloodline. The Judgment Day. Now, one of those parts of the stipulation is not even equal to the other. It is in fact almost tertiary, shall we say. Not even secondary, tertiary. So I think Damian Priest goes over here. Partly why, and I'm going to tell you before you make your pick. So I'm going to give you a chance to change your mind. There is now no longer a reason for Seth Rollins to want this belt. There is, however, a reason for Seth Rollins to want the belt that is currently around the waist of the other champion. I forget who that is.
Rhodes.
That's the one. There was so much of Seth versus is Seth going to turn on Cody before WrestleMania. There was so much of that going into Mania that it was almost expected that Seth was going to turn on Cody. I think Priest wins here. Seth can no longer challenge for that belt while Priest has it. Seth goes away from Raw, transfers to SmackDown, because don't forget he was left out of the draft.
Yep.
He goes to SmackDown as a free agent in storyline and challenges for that main event picture on SmackDown. That's what I think. We get a fresh face on SmackDown because I think SmackDown is kind of stagnating now a bit with their main event picture. Because like the champion is in a triple threat, a 6-man tag at arguably one of the bigger pay-per-views of the calendar year. So I'm kind of thinking he doesn't quite have as many challengers. To build story with, and Seth Rollins could sell a story to anybody. So that's why I think. Sorry. Okay, your choice.
Okay. This is going to be a bit of a fantasy booking. But that's what
it.
I think might happen. So this will be the main event. I think that the women will go on second last. This will be your main event now. With it being the big stipulation that you spoke about, I think we're going to get the Damian Priest is going to tell Judgment Day, stay away. I need to do this by myself. Don't come down. But we know the Judgment Day don't listen. So at some point during the match, the Judgment Day come down. They help Damian Priest retain the belt against Seth frickin' Rollins, and then get in the ring, celebrate with him afterwards. I'm not even sure that Damian Priest will know that they've helped. It might be a case that he's down, he's taking a curb stomp, and then someone's going to hit clock. Like one will distract the ref, and the other one will clock Seth. So he just goes down, but he won't know who's done it. Then you'll get the first person that's going to come and celebrate with him is Liv Morgan. Try and get her way into the Judgment Day. The rest of the Judgment Day will follow, and Damian Priest will be like, I've done it, I'm still part of the Judgment Day. She has to go, though. And as he's telling Liv Morgan to leave, he's going to get clocked in the back by Finn Balor.
Right.
And they don't want him in the Judgment Day anyway. And the Judgment Day are going to beat down Damian Priest and align with Liv Morgan.
Right.
And that way you get Damian Priest still out of the Judgment Day, because let's be honest, he's not doing that much in the Judgment Day compared to the others. Like even this Liv Morgan stuff is centered around the other members of the Judgment Day. Mm-hmm. So I think that the Judgment Day, then you're going to have JD McDonough, Dominic, Carlito, and Finn Balor are going to beat down Damian Priest. They're going to put everything they can into like attacking him. And then similar to what happened in Scotland, except this time it'll be Drew McIntyre's thing that hits. Or not, WrestleMania, sorry, when Damian Priest cashed in. This time it'll be Drew McIntyre's music that hits.
Yep.
He comes to the ring, Finn Balor picks him up, lets Drew hit him with a Claymore. So it's like, okay, Drew's going to win. Then referee waits for Damian Priest to get up. They get security coming down. Security going to usher the Judgment Day away so a match can start and break it up and be like, this is what the briefcase is. We can't stop the match. Except one of the security guards is going to fall behind, and that is going to be one CM Punk.
Okay.
That as the match rings, he's going to cost Drew McIntyre the briefcase completely.
Mm.
And that way, Drew loses the briefcase, which makes him even more angry because Punk's now screwed him in several matches when he's not cleared to compete, which will push on this SummerSlam all or nothing grudge match. But I think that to do that, you need Drew to win. And then, because I think everyone's predicting that Punk's going to cost Drew in the ladder match, but I think it'll be more effective if he doesn't cost them there and screws him using the briefcase, because Drew's already said if he wins, he's cashing in the same day.
Right, okay. That's why I don't think he's going to win the briefcase. It for me, it just does, I don't know why, it doesn't feel like, so Priest carried the briefcase till Mania.
Yeah, but then the women's briefcase got used quite quickly. They always seem to have one briefcase gets used and one they can build a story around, which is why I think that Tiffany is going to hold it for a long time.
Okay, but now this is going to be like, this is like a Triple H only booking thing now. There is no more Vince.
I still think it's hard to book two briefcases long term without them seeing the same.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
It's going to be just, okay, they're going to run in, cash in. Nope, they're getting stopped. It's the same thing with both. So I think if they get rid of one, they can focus all their attention on the other.
Yeah, but the only problem is you still have a very large portion of the WWE universe who don't really care for the women's division at all. So there's less eyes, there's less interest on that than there is on the men. It's just my thought. All right, well, there you go. Those are our predictions. Check out the podcast for more speculation and fantasy booking and suggestions surrounding Money in the Bank. If you're going, have a great time, but be safe, stay safe. And if, like us, you're going to be watching at 1 o'clock in the morning, because fuck us, I guess.
We've had a good run recently. The last 2 or 3 pay-per-views have all... No, 3. Because Saudi was a good time, UK was 1, and then France is all time. So we can't really complain that we're going back to a nighttime one.
But no, we can't. Not really. But yeah, enjoy it. if you're watching it as well from your TV set, it will be on the WWE Network, which is still only $9.99 a month. So yeah, we'll talk more about this in the podcast. So stick around for that. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe on the channel, please. It would really help us out if you like any of our content. And we will see you in the next one. It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.